The 10 News Weather Authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
All right, let's start out with our radar this evening. Most of the rain now off to the east. We saw some pop-up pretty heavy showers at mid-afternoon today, but now all of that energy kind of shifting out of our part of the state and moving off into the eastern part of Virginia. Here's a target futurecast for this evening then. We just look for some partly cloudy skies until later this evening. I do think we'll be looking at some areas of dense fog into early tomorrow morning. Keep that in mind for your morning commute tomorrow. It should lift off pretty quickly, but very early around sunrise there could be that issue to deal with. Through the midday hours in the afternoon, maybe a stray pop-up shower or two, mainly to the south side, southern part of the NRV, those areas. But for the rest of us, we'll just call it partly sunny. The big weather headline for tomorrow will actually be the heat and a little bit of increase of humidity, so the heat index goes up as well. Let's start by looking at current conditions right now. Blacksburg again at 84 degrees, mid-80s. Martinsville, Roanoke, as I mentioned earlier in the news, all of a sudden jumped up to 93. We were in the upper 80s to near 90, but quick bounce in those temperatures the past hour, but they'll bounce back down pretty quickly this evening. So your early evening plans should be okay. Temperature-wise, overnight lows will be in the upper 60s to near 70 most spots. Then your high temperatures tomorrow topping out mostly in the low 90s, but the heat index will be around 100, so the heat index is going to be a factor once again. Slightly cooler out to the NRV, that area, but otherwise really hot through most of the region. Here's the setup. We have a fizzling out frontal boundary, easy to say, right? A fizzling out front over eastern Virginia. That's where the focus of the rain is, and your futurecast, big picture, shows that continue to slide off to the east. Maybe a couple of showers popping up tomorrow. Better chances we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, but we focus our attention to the south, of course. What happens with Debbie as it becomes a hurricane overnight tonight, making landfall around Florida? This is by later Monday afternoon, but see how it kind of stalls out down there over southern Georgia into Monday night. Here's a close-up satellite picture this afternoon. Very close to the Tampa Bay area, probably making landfall as a Category 1 hurricane later tonight. Here's the 5 p.m. update from the Hurricane Center. Almost hurricane strength. It is making a beeline up toward Tallahassee, that area, probably toward Gainesville late tonight and tomorrow as a Category 1 hurricane. And then watch what happens. Into midday Wednesday, is stuck as a tropical depression near the coast of South Carolina and then drifts northward by Thursday into South and North Carolina, and we'll see how that eventually could impact Virginia, but it's a really tough call at this point. Here's the advisories. These are hurricane watches and warnings for this western Gulf Coast of Florida. They even have tropical storm watches out as far north as Charleston, South Carolina for tomorrow. Rainfall totals expected to exceed 20 inches down here in eastern South Carolina, eastern Georgia. Could be catastrophic, historical type flooding situation down there in the next 3 days, but it's because it's going to just stall out down over that area. And here's the model forecast track. You can see it's kind of all over the map. This is for later this week, and that's why it's a tough forecast for what happens beyond Wednesday, for example. So that's why we're increasing our rain chances for the end of the week, but we'll have to see how the track of that storm eventually shakes out. Temperature-wise, hot and humid Monday and Tuesday. Rain chances ramp way up. After that, we go up into the 50-60% category for probability precipitation into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And there could be a lot of rain, depending, again, how Debbie tracks closer to this part of the region.